Allah said in the Holy Quran, Inna fi khalqi samawati wal ardi wa ikhtilafi al-layli wal nahari wal fulki allati tajri fil bahri. Right, up to the end of the ayah. He says, definitely in the creation of the heavens, the alternation of the night and the day, the ships that sail through the sea with things that profit and benefit mankind, in what Allah has sent down from the heavens, meaning the skies, of the rain that we receive, and with it brings to life of the earth after its death. That means after winter, when everything had died out, Allah brings down the rain, as we are currently experiencing now here, the first rains like in the spring, right? And then this rain, it brings back to life what was dead, right? And then Allah says, and spreads on the earth by this process every type of animal, right? And the spring is a time when all these animals now start new beginnings. They start laying eggs, and then they start hatching, and they move about, they spread everywhere. They create the life blossoms, like everything becomes green. All animals procreate during that period, all of this. And then Allah says, and the free movement of the wind and the cloud subjected between the skies and the earth. Indeed, in all of these, there are signs for people that reason. Now, Allah talk about people who reason in this ayah, because when people contemplate about these life's processes, they will understand and they will come to know who their creator is. Who is this creator, right? So then Imam Shah Hassan radiallahu ta'ala continues, and he says, these signs, they point to destination, and therefore careful study and evaluation of Allah's signs, that is his creations, because Allah called these creations signs, because he says these are signs for a people who reason, then will lead one to Allah himself, because a sign, it's something that you look for that will take you to another destination somewhere. And that destination is Allah himself. And that's what Allah wants you to know. Right? Now, this knowledge is, before I get to that, now if you those that were at the masjid yesterday after Wazifa, we were discussing this. In fact, there was a whole group happening in the in this Don Park reservoir group, where we were talking about the importance of religions working together instead of opposing each other. One of the things why religions must work together, especially the interfaith community, we must never look at the Christians and the other people as the enemy, because they are not our enemy. The enemy of our time now is the secularization of the world. And with the secularization, it means there is an effort that is being made in order to teach the whole of mankind that you do not have a creator. You came into existence by chance, by natural processes that came on its own. And therefore, if there is no creator, it means all this divine revelation that we've been using over the centuries was all a lie and a fabrication and man-made. And therefore, we do not have morals that were revealed by Allah. We do not have morals and ethics and standards that we should hold ourselves against, and that should guide us how we should live. So we must create our own morals. So that is the implication of this secularization, is to say that, look, listen, there is no creator. You were created out of a natural process. Now, one of the things that we highlighted in the discussion yesterday was that you go to high school, you ask anybody about what do they think about divinity. People will tell you they don't believe Allah exists anymore. They don't believe He exists, regardless of whether they are Muslim or Christian. Most people don't believe. We really live in very turbulent and trying times. So this secularization of the world is bringing all the fitna and corruption that we see around us, because people don't believe that they will be held accountable for their actions. Why would you believe that you'll be held accountable when you don't believe that Allah exists in the first place? So they say you only have one life and you must live it. Once your life is finished, that's it. There is no more you, there is nothing. That doesn't make sense, right? And Allah keeps reminding us in the Quran that we did not create you and the universe out of play and amusement or entertainment, or maybe we were bored, we were looking for something to do, but that we didn't find, and therefore we just decided to create creation. No, there was a purpose that Allah created us. And we as human beings need to understand this purpose. And those that are awake, they need to wake up those that are asleep, so they can also wake up from this big dream that everybody is living under, so that people can be fully awake and know that they are real. Allah created them, and Allah created them with a purpose. And therefore, when we leave this world, our journey continues from here on. It doesn't stop with our passing of this life. So, and that is what secularization does. So people create their own rules. You take your children to school, and then you feed them with this education that when they come out from the schooling process, they come out with no connection whatsoever with the divinity, with Allah. So they are the ones that will make decisions about what must happen, because there is, for them, they are made to believe that there is no Allah. And so here, coming back to the topic, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is living in an environment where people worship other than Allah, and he goes in the cave of Hira. He spends 6 months, like couple of months at a time. He worships Allah, he meditates, he tries to connect himself with Allah. Remember, at that time, he had not seen the angel, Jibreel, and then the first thing Jibreel alayhi salam comes to him, he says to him, with the message from the presence of Allah, he says, read in the name of your Lord, who creates. So Allah introduces himself, he says, so you read in the name of your Lord who creates. So Imam Shaykh Hassan Sisi radiallahu ta'ala anhu, here he explains that clearly the reading of the Prophet ﷺ that is instructed here is to study human being because once you study this human being, because a human being, he has in him all of the creatures that are encoded in him. Right? By knowing him and studying him, you will understand your surroundings in the entire universe, and you will come to know ultimately your Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because once you start reflecting on this, because Allah referred to his creation and the processes that takes place in creations, all of them as the signs. And a sign is something that leads to a specific destination, and that destination is Allah himself. And that's why it makes sense to first know your creator. Now, once you know your creator, then you can start learning about the laws of how to worship your creator. Because how do you worship someone you don't know?